Alright, so we want to create a Flask app today. So this is going to be like a basic web application using Flask, Python Flask, and HTML and a bit of CSS. It's going to be a cookie website, so pretty simple to understand. So we start by creating a new folder, and then we rename it to Flask app. Nice. Select folder. So our folder is opening right here on VS Code. Yep. So you can see Flask app. So we start by our file structure. So the first folder on the directory will obviously be the source folder. So that would be src, and then src. Inside src we create a Python file. So app.py. Yeah. So this is where we're going to start with. I'm going to be showing you the lines of code one by one and explaining what each of them offers. So this is basically like a 15-line Python application. So it's very simple. It shows the power of Python, right? So the first thing is always in Python would be to import the libraries that you want to use, which in fact is the most important part. So obviously from Flask, you import the Flask application. Now, as you can see, you can see the suggestions here, which makes a lot of sense. These are the kind of parts of the libraries, Flask library, that you obviously want to use in web applications mostly. For this particular one, we'll only be using the render template, and this is to render the HTML file into the Python decorator, the routes decorator. So I'll explain all that as we progress. So tab, we could remove the rest of all this because we don't exactly need them. Yeah, for now we don't need them. Yeah, but for subsequent, like literally my Amazon queue is going crazy, which makes a lot of sense, right? So yeah, obviously this is the next thing we're going to type. Right here we are calling in the Flask app, which is very, very great. It's supposed to help us with the next thing we want to do. We will want to pass the required route to the decorator, which is like the most important part of the entire framework. Well, I know I say most important part a lot, but this is actually very, very important. So the next thing we want to do is to call app.route, yep, slash yeah. So this right here is called the route decorator, right? This is called the route decorator because it sort of specifies what part of the web application that a particular function is going to be passed to. So obviously we're going to define a function right under this app decorator. So let's call it cookies page. Or let's just call it cookies page is cool. Cookies page is cool, right? So now we're going to define our function. I mean, Amazon queue is going crazy, but that's obviously what we want to write. This function cookies page, when this function is passed, if this app route is called and this function is passed, it returns a HTML file as the output to the user. We're going to see all of that in function right now. So let's say maybe you want to have a home page. It would be really great, right? So we could say at app route, obviously not cookies page 2. It's going to be let's say the home page, of course, the home page. Yep. Amazon queue doesn't want me to get things done. It just literally wants to, I'm going to eventually deactivate it at some point so that I can code like a human being. Yeah, so it's just, it's an index page, but it's not the HTML index page. It's like, let's say, well, we could make it an HTML index page if we want. We could make it a HTML index page. Yep. Or we could actually, so I'm going to show you the power of something. We could actually pass the HTML code right inside here. But then render template is usually way better. And then we end our code with the main function and yeah, an app debug function. Yeah, so this is basically the 15-line code as promised. It's like literally all. Now we ask, what's the next part? So we have to create a folder inside the SRC folder called templates. So the render template refers to this directory for the HTML files. So we have two HTML files, cookies page.html, and we have index.html, if you remember. Right? So I've formally created a cookies page, so I will just get that from where I created it. So it's like a very nice looking code and all that. HTML, I'm not really teaching HTML today, but this is nothing. This is something you could always like work with. But this is what I'm teaching today, which is the great part of everything, right? So we also need an index.html code, which I am going to provide with you right now. Right? Alright, we have our HTML code now, and it's super nice. Okay, now to the main part of everything, we are going to run this. So to run this, you actually need you need to have Python installed, you need to have Flask installed. Usually you could just use sudo apt install Python if you're using Ubuntu, or sudo yum install Python 3, whatever, if you're using Debian or CentOS. If you are, so depending on what you have, you could always install Python. I'm not here to teach how to install Python. Now Flask, you could also, once you have Python installed, you can install the Flask library using pip install Flask. Yeah, so all that you could find yourself. It's all about the internet, right? But this is what I just felt like sharing today. And yeah, Python 3 app.py. There, our code is running. So we can go here to see our code. So I'll bring that to you shortly. Oh, there you have it. There you have it. This is, alright guys, this is the end result of the Flask app. This is the index page that was made, and then when you click here, this is the main page. So it is just basically HTML, CSS, and a bit of JavaScript, all working with Flask. Flask is the framework that's pushing this entire thing and making it available at localhost 5000 and all that. So yeah, I just put in some functions just to make it fun. You could always try this. Check out the GitHub page. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment and a like for those who are interested. Alright, bye.